Right now, one Australian capital city has a 100% chance of heavy rain tonight. 100%. Roads will flood, drains will overflow, and if you are in that city and you do not hear this forecast, you could be driving straight into serious trouble. But here is the thing. That same evening, another capital on the other side of the country is sitting under crystal clear skies with zero chance of rain. Two cities, same country, same night, completely opposite weather. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through every major city and region across Australia, Sunday evening, the 8th of February 2026, so you know exactly what is heading your way, when it starts, when it peaks, and when it clears. And if you stay until the 5-minute mark, I will reveal which city is about to cop the worst tropical storm of the entire week and what you need to do right now to stay safe. Before we get into the city-by-city breakdown, here is your reward for being here early. The three cities with the best weather tonight, the absolute perfect summer evenings, are Perth, Adelaide and Hobart. If you are in any of those three places, you have hit the jackpot. Dry skies, warm temperatures and not a drop of rain in sight. But if you are anywhere on the East Coast or up in the tropics, you need to keep listening very carefully. Now drop a comment below telling me which city you are in, and I will make sure you get the forecast updates you need. Let us start with the city that everyone is asking about tonight. Canberra. The national capital is in for an absolute hammering. The chance of rain tonight is 100%. Not 50-50, not likely. 100% confirmed heavy rainfall. We are talking about the kind of downpour where you cannot see the car in front of you. Temperatures today barely crawled to 17 to 19 degrees, which is way below the February average. That tells you a serious weather system has parked itself directly over the capital and it is not moving. Here is the critical timing for Canberra. The heavy rain is already settling in this evening. It will intensify through the night, peaking between around 9 at night and 2 in the morning. The worst of it should clear by early Monday morning, with conditions improving dramatically by midday Monday when temperatures bounce back to around 26 degrees with only a 24% chance of light scattered showers. If you are in Canberra right now, stay indoors tonight. Do not drive unless it is absolutely essential. There is a real risk of localised flooding, especially around Lake Burley-Griffin and the lower lying parts of the city. And remember the golden rule. If it is flooded, forget it. Do not attempt to drive through floodwater. But here is something most people do not realise about Canberra. Sitting 600 metres above sea level deep in the interior, this city experiences more extreme weather swings than any coastal capital. It can hit 40 degrees during the day and drop back to 15 overnight. Tonight, though, that thick blanket of cloud is trapping the warmth, so the temperature swing is minimal. The rain is doing all the talking. Now do not skip ahead just yet, because what is happening in Sydney tonight might surprise you. Sydney is not getting hammered like Canberra, but do not let that fool you into leaving the umbrella at home. February is one of the wettest months of the year for the harbour city, with average monthly rainfall hitting 86.2 millimetres across roughly 23 rainy days. Tonight, the daytime high sat around 25 degrees, and as the sun dips, expect the mercury to ease back to about 21 degrees overnight. Here is the timing for Sydney. Showers could pop up at any moment through the evening, but they will be short and sharp. The most likely window for rain is between 8 at night and midnight. After that, conditions should settle. By Monday morning, you are looking at mostly clear skies. Winds are blowing at about 24 kilometres an hour, giving you that lovely harbour breeze. Humidity is sitting at roughly 50%, not oppressively sticky, but enough that you will notice the moisture the moment you step outside. And here is a little bonus for the water lovers. Ocean temperature around Sydney is sitting at a beautiful 23.1 degrees right now. If you managed to squeeze in a late afternoon swim today, you picked one of the best water temperature days of the entire summer. Quick word on Newcastle and Wollongong. Newcastle is running a degree or two warmer than Sydney tonight with stronger sea breezes. Wollongong is tracking similar temperatures but with slightly higher humidity. Both cities have a reasonable chance of evening showers. Now let us talk about Melbourne, because this city never makes weather forecasting easy. Melbourne tonight, high of 24 degrees, overnight low dropping to about 18. Winds from the south at 20 kilometres an hour coming up through Bass Strait, carrying cool air that makes it feel a few degrees chillier than the thermometer says. And here is the classic Melbourne question: will it rain? The chance is sitting at 53 to 54%. In Melbourne speak, that means absolutely nobody knows. Not me, not the Bureau, not your Nan who reckons she can feel rain in her knees. Here is the timing. If rain does arrive in Melbourne, the most likely window is between 7 at night and 11 at night. After that, conditions should stabilise. Barometric pressure is steady at around 1,009 hectopascals, which suggests no severe weather system is bearing down on the city. But this is Melbourne we are talking about. 4 seasons in one day is not a joke, it is a lifestyle. My advice for Melbourne tonight, carry the umbrella, not just tonight, every single time you walk out the front door in this city. You know the drill. Sea temperatures are at their yearly peak of about 18.8 degrees, cooler than Sydney, but still perfectly swimmable if you are not too precious about it. That said, beaches like St Kilda and Brighton will be breezy tonight, so a nighttime swim is probably not on the cards. Do not miss the next section because we are heading into storm territory, Brisbane. This is where things get dramatic. February is one of the wettest months of the year in Brisbane, right in the heart of the northern wet season. Average monthly rainfall hits a massive 172.3 millimetres across more than 20 rainy days. That is roughly 2 out of every 3 days getting some form of rain. Tonight in Brisbane, temperatures peaked at around 28 degrees and will stubbornly hang at 23 to 25 degrees well into the evening. Coupled with that trademark subtropical humidity, you'll feel the sticky heat clinging to you even after dark. Here is the storm timing for Brisbane. Tropical showers and thunderstorms are most likely to fire up between 6 in the evening and 10 at night. They tend to pop up out of nowhere, often with spectacular lightning displays before clearing out just as quickly and leaving that warm, muggy air behind. By midnight, conditions usually settle, but isolated storms can roll through at any hour during peak wet season. If you have got a barbecue planned tonight, and what self-respecting Queenslander does not on a Sunday, have a backup plan to move the whole operation indoors at short notice. Make sure the car is undercover. Bring in anything loose from the backyard. Check your gutters and drains are clear. The snags and steaks will taste just as good under the patio roof. And here is something that will make you smile. Sea temperature around Brisbane is peaking at about 27 degrees right now. That is beautifully warm bath water, absolutely perfect for a surf or a swim. Just remember, this is also box jellyfish season in northern Queensland waters, so stick to the netted areas if you are heading into the ocean. Now here is the 5-minute promise I made you. The city about to cop the worst tropical storm of the week. Darwin, the capital of the Northern Territory. February is the absolute peak of the wet season up in the top end, and tonight is going to be a properly dramatic tropical experience. Temperatures in Darwin barely shift between day and night. During the day, you are looking at 32 to 33 degrees. Overnight, it hardly drops below 25. Now combine that with average humidity peaking at 78%, the highest of the entire year, and you have got conditions where your shirt sticks to your back, the sweat will not evaporate, and the air conditioning will be working overtime. Here is the critical storm timing for Darwin. Evening thunderstorms are practically guaranteed. The typical pattern goes like this. Gorgeous red sunset around 7 in the evening. Then the sky turns black in about 5 minutes flat as enormous storm clouds roll in. Then the heavens open up like someone turned on a fire hose. The worst window is between 7:30 at night and midnight. Storms might last 10 minutes or they might last a couple of hours, but they are always impressive. Massive lightning shows, powerful wind gusts, and absolutely torrential rain that dumps in minutes. Serious safety warning for Darwin tonight. Lightning risk is extremely high during storm season. Stay well away from open areas. Do not shelter under isolated trees. Get yourself indoors the moment you hear thunder. Watch out for flash flooding on the roads because the drainage systems struggle to cope when that volume of water comes down in such a short burst. Not far from Darwin, Cairns on the far north Queensland coast is dealing with its own tropical chaos tonight. February temperatures in Cairns average a high of about 31 degrees and a low of around 26. Evening temperatures barely budge, sitting at 27 to 28 degrees with extreme humidity. Monthly rainfall averages 123 millimetres. Storm timing mirrors Darwin, heaviest between 7 at night and midnight. If you are a tourist planning to visit the Great Barrier Reef, contact your tour operator to check sea conditions. Boat trips can be cancelled when the weather turns nasty. Now for the good news section, because some of you are sitting pretty tonight. Perth. If you want the perfect Sunday evening weather, Perth is the place to be. February is actually the driest month of the entire year in Perth, with only about 2.1 days of rain and a grand total of just 9 millimetres of rainfall for the whole month. To put that in perspective, Brisbane gets nearly 20 times that amount. The chance of rain tonight in Perth is virtually zero. Daytime temperatures regularly push to 35 to 38 degrees. But thanks to the low humidity of the Mediterranean climate, the heat does not feel anywhere near as oppressive as Brisbane. Tonight, Perth will cool down to about 20 to 23 degrees in the early evening, continuing down to 18 to 20 degrees by midnight. That big day to night temperature swing is classic Perth, and it makes for absolutely sensational summer evenings. The star of the show is the legendary Fremantle Doctor, that gorgeous sea breeze rolling in off the Indian Ocean. Whether you are having dinner along the Swan River, walking on Cottesloe Beach, or sipping a cold beer in Northbridge, you are in for a picture-perfect evening. Skies over Perth tonight should be clear as a bell. If you have got a telescope gathering dust in the garage, tonight is the night. Adelaide is having an equally brilliant evening. Average February high of about 26 degrees. Overnight low around 17. Rainfall for the month is minimal, just about 43 millimetres, which means tonight is almost certainly bone dry. Light winds and clear skies all evening. Perfect for outdoor dining along Rundle Street or down by the Torrens. One warning though, February is when heat waves strike Adelaide, and residual heat can make things uncomfortable indoors without air conditioning. Make sure you are drinking plenty of water and keep a close eye on the elderly and the little ones. Down in Hobart, it is a different story. February is the most pleasant time of the year in Tasmania, but the average high only reaches 22 to 23 degrees, dropping to 13 to 15 in the evening. Sea temperatures sit at just 16.5 degrees, brave souls only. My tip for Hobart tonight is dress in layers. If you are heading up Mount Wellington, pack warm. The wind up on the summit will cut right through you. Heading back up the coast, the Gold Coast is in that sweet spot between Brisbane and Sydney tonight. Temperatures around 26 to 28 degrees, easing to 22 to 24 in the evening. There is a chance of a short, sharp shower, but nothing that should ruin your plans at Surfers Paradise, Broadbeach or Burleigh Heads. Here is your quick summary. Nationwide averages for the 8th of February sit at about 22.8 degrees over 19.8, winds averaging 25.6 kilometres an hour, rainfall of 12.3 millimetres, and humidity at around 74.6%. But those averages hide an extraordinary diversity across this massive continent. If you are in Canberra, stay home tonight, heavy rain all night, clearing by Monday. If you are in Sydney, grab the umbrella but do not cancel your plans. Showers will be short. If you're in Melbourne, be ready for anything. 50-50 chance of rain, classic Melbourne. If you are in Brisbane, Darwin or Cairns, brace for tropical storms, lightning and humidity that will have you wringing out your shirt. If you are in Perth or Adelaide, enjoy one of the best summer evenings on the planet. If you are in Hobart, rug up and enjoy that crisp Tassie air. Now here is what I need you to do. Drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. I read every single comment and I will make sure your area gets extra coverage in the next forecast. And speaking of the next forecast, a major weather system is building in the Coral Sea right now that could bring significant changes to the East Coast by midweek. You are going to want to see that update. Make sure you do not miss it. Check the latest updates from the Bureau of Meteorology at bom.gov.au on the 8th of February. For the most accurate and up-to-date information, stay safe, stay dry where you need to, and enjoy the Aussie summer.